Hello friends. Today we are going to discuss Varargs. Java has included a feature that simplifies the creation of methods that need to take a variable number of arguments. This feature is called Varargs and it is a short form for variable length arguments. Prior to Java 5, in case there was a need of variable number of arguments, there were two ways to handle it. Let's see one example for this. Here in this example, I have taken a class addition 1 and this has a method add. It takes two parameters I and j and add both the parameters and return the sum of I and j. Here in main method, I have created an object of this class addition 1 and using this object I'm invoking or calling this method add and passing two parameters 4 and 6. Now if I want to pass here three parameters, I want to add three numbers. So one way to handle it is a method overloading. So we have to write one more definition of this same method which takes three parameter here and add these three parameters and return the sum of three parameters. So this is one way to pass variable number of parameters. Okay, so here we can call this method and pass three parameters. So here I can pass. Now suppose I want to pass four parameters, one parameter, no parameter at all. Then what to do? It means we have to write multiple definitions of the same method here. So method overloading we have to use. This is a one way when we want to pass different number of variable number of parameters to a method. But what is the problem with the method overloading? Every time we have to write a new method definition when we want to pass different number of parameter. Second way to deal with this problem is to pass the parameter in the form of array. So here in this program you can see this add method accepts array as a parameter, and here in this main method I have created three arrays. In first array I have stored one element, in second array I have stored three elements, and in the third array no element. And now we am passing these array as a parameter here. When I'm calling this method add, I'm passing these arrays as parameters. So here this array is accepted as a parameter, and in the method it is printing the number of arguments received, the length using this v dot length, and the content using this for loop. So this is another way to deal when we want to pass multiple parameters or variable number of parameters. But again, constructing an array of parameter every time, it is difficult to maintain. So this is another way. So for this, to solve this problem, Java provides a mechanism of varargs, variable length argument. So for this, what we have to do in the same method, we have to write the type of the parameter followed by three consecutive dot and a variable name. And now when we write this definition, so this definition tells compiler that this method can accept zero or more parameter. Then compiler implicitly create an array here to handle the number of parameters which are received. So if we have written this definition, then we can pass any number of parameters. We can pass one parameter, two parameter, three parameter, four, zero parameter as per our requirement. So in this method, we are calculating the sum of all the parameters which are received here using this for loop. We are adding into the sum and returning the sum. And here using this object of this class, I'm calling this method and here I'm passing two parameter. Then here in this definition here I'm passing five parameter, here no parameter. And when we execute this program, you can see, and even if in this line if I want to pass four parameter, that's possible. You can simply Save it and execute it. So just by giving this definition, the syntax for where args variable length argument is, we have to write method name, then type of the arguments it is going to receive, then three dots, and then variable name. That's all. And after that, the method body as per our requirement, as per the function of the method. And then while calling that method, we can pass one parameter, two parameter, three parameter, or no parameter at all, depending on our requirement. We can use this variable length argument with standard argument also. Here in this example, we see this method definition. This accepts one string parameter and one variable length argument. And this method prints this string message and then content of this variable length argument using this for loop. And in the main method here, first time when I'm calling this method, I'm passing one string parameter and one integer parameter for this variable length argument. Second time, one string parameter and three integer parameters for this variable length argument. And third time, I'm passing only one string parameter and no parameter for this variable length argument. And this is going to be the output. So it is possible to use this variable length argument with standard arguments. We can overload the method which is using variable length arguments. Here in this example, you can see this definition of this method accepts integer type variable length argument and it prints the number of arguments received and the content using this for loop. Second definition of the same method name accepts boolean parameter, boolean variable length argument, and it just displays the content and the number of arguments it has received. Then third definition of the same method name accepts one string argument and integer variable length argument here and just display the content received. And we are calling we are passing three integer parameter, then this definition of this method will be invoked and this part of the code will be executed. When we are passing one string parameter and two integer parameter, then this method definition will be invoked and this part of the code will be executed. When we are passing three boolean parameter, then this method definition will be invoked. So here we can see it is possible to overload method which is using variable length argument. So this is going to be the output of this program. But sometimes this method overloading can cause ambiguity. So here in this example, we'll see here this method accepts integer type of variable length arguments and displays the arguments received. Then in the second definition, it accepts boolean type of variable length argument. Then here, when we are invoking, we are passing three integer parameters. Then this method definition will be invoked. When we are passing three boolean parameter, then this method definition will be invoked. But when we are passing no parameter, this is going to cause ambiguity because it is possible to call both the methods without passing any parameter. So this definition is going to cause this when we are calling this method in this way without passing any parameter. So this is going to cause ambiguity and this program will not compile. This will give error. We have to take care of few things when we are using variable length arguments. First thing is we can use only one variable length argument in a single method. So if we are trying to give two or more variable length argument in a single method, then it is going to give error. So here, if we are going to use this technique, it is going to give us error. Second thing which we have to take care is if we are using variable length argument with a normal parameter, that time this variable length argument should be the last parameter, not first or any other place. So this, if we are going to use this way, then this is going to be give us error. That's all about variable length arguments. Thank you so much.